If you're over 60 and you wake up with blurry vision, if your eyes start burning after just a few minutes in front of a screen, or if you walk into a room and forget why you're there, that is not just aging, and it is not something you simply have to live with. It can feel discouraging when these little moments start piling up week after week, and you start wondering if this is just what getting older looks like now. While you sleep, your brain and your eyes go through an active repair phase. The problem is, a lot of adults over 60 aren't giving their body, through food, what it actually needs to do that repair work properly overnight. And almost nobody talks about it. Before we get started, if this is something you've been noticing, drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from, and subscribe so you don't miss health information made specifically for you. Today, I'm going to walk you through 4 simple natural juices that can support your memory and your vision while you sleep. No medications, no expensive supplements, just kitchen ingredients, prepared and timed the right way. Let's start with the most familiar one, carrot juice. Carrots are rich in beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. This vitamin is essential for the retina to function properly, especially the cells that let you see in low light. When those cells don't get enough vitamin A, they work less efficiently, which can contribute to blurry vision or dry eyes, 2 very common complaints after 60. Carrots also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 pigments that concentrate specifically in the macula, the part of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. Several observational studies link a higher intake of lutein and zeaxanthin to a lower risk of age-related macular degeneration. Although researchers are careful to note that the evidence is still being studied and it does not replace regular checkups with an eye doctor. Here's something important to know. These nutrients are fat-soluble, which means your body absorbs them better when they're paired with a little healthy fat. So here's how I recommend doing this. In the morning, take 2 to 3 medium carrots, peel them, and run them through a juicer. You can add a slice of ginger for flavor or a splash of lemon juice. Drink this juice with breakfast alongside something that has a bit of healthy fat in it, a slice of whole grain toast with a little butter, or a small handful of almonds. Now let's move to a deep red juice that often gets overlooked, beet juice. After 60, people rarely think about blood flow when they think about memory or vision. But the brain and the retina need a steady, constant oxygen supply to function during the day and to repair themselves properly at night. And that supply depends almost entirely on how well blood is actually moving through those tiny vessels. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates. Once inside the body, those nitrates get converted into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps blood vessels relax and widen slightly. Some studies in older adults have found that after several weeks of regularly drinking beet juice, cerebral blood flow improved, particularly in the frontal cortex, the area involved in attention and short-term memory. I want to be honest with you here. Other studies have not found a meaningful effect on memory itself, especially over the longer term. The effect on circulation is better established than the effect on memory performance. This is a promising lead, not a guaranteed miracle, and that is exactly why it belongs inside a broader routine instead of being used on its own while expecting a dramatic result. Here is how I recommend preparing it. Take 1 medium raw beet, peel it, and juice it together with a small apple or half an orange to soften the earthy taste. Drink this in the early afternoon, somewhere between 2 and 4 p.m., right around the time many people feel an energy dip. A short walk afterward can help blood flow even more. If you're finding this useful so far, go ahead and hit that like button, and let's keep going. The third juice works a little differently, at the cellular level, helping protect nerve cells, and that's blueberry juice. Blueberries are one of the richest sources of anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants. And here, the scientific evidence is actually some of the strongest on this list. Several randomized clinical trials in adults over 60, some with mild cognitive decline, have shown that daily blueberry or blueberry juice consumption over 12 to 24 weeks was linked to improvements in processing speed and, in some studies, working memory. Researchers believe anthocyanins may be able to cross the blood-brain barrier, reduce oxidative stress, and support a protein called BDNF, which helps nerve cells survive and function well, almost like fertilizer for the connections your brain relies on every single day. For the eyes, the same antioxidants help protect the retinal ganglion cells, the ones responsible for sending visual information to the brain. Out of the 4 juices on this list, this is probably the one with the most consistent research behind it, which doesn't mean the other 3 aren't worthwhile. It just means the evidence here happens to line up especially well from one study to the next. Here's how to prepare it. Blend a generous handful of blueberries, fresh or frozen, with a little water, or with half a banana if you like a thicker texture. Drink this in the evening, about 90 minutes before bed, right around the time your brain begins its natural nightly repair cycle. Finally, let's talk about spinach juice. It's often underrated, but once juiced, it becomes one of the most complete allies for your eyes and your brain. Spinach is one of the most concentrated sources of lutein and zeaxanthin, the same pigments that protect the macula. As we age, our natural stores of these pigments decline, which leaves the macula more vulnerable to oxidative stress. Several studies link a higher intake of lutein and zeaxanthin to better contrast sensitivity. In plain terms, seeing more clearly, especially in low light. Spinach is also rich in folate, a B vitamin needed to produce neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. And folate also helps regulate homocysteine, a compound that at high levels has been linked in several studies to more pronounced cognitive decline in older adults. One honest caution I want to mention: spinach contains oxalates, which can interfere with calcium absorption and which aren't recommended in large amounts for people with kidney issues. That's exactly why moderation matters here. Here's how I suggest preparing it. Take a large handful of fresh spinach and pair it with a green apple or half a cucumber to soften the flavor. Drink this in the mid-morning or right before lunch when your stomach isn't too full or too empty. Now that you know all 4 juices, the real question is how to fit them into your day without overwhelming your routine or your stomach. You don't need to drink all 4 every single day. The idea is to work with your body's natural rhythm. You can start slowly, with just 1 juice a day during the first week, and add the second one the following week, giving your digestion time to adjust so this becomes a real habit instead of one more thing on your to-do list. In the morning, carrot juice, paired with a little fat for absorption. Mid-morning or before lunch, spinach juice. Early afternoon, between 2 and 4 p.m., beet juice, right when your energy naturally dips. And in the evening, about 90 minutes before bed, blueberry juice to support your brain's overnight repair process. This isn't a miracle, it's a habit, repeated consistently, and that's usually all the body actually needs. I also want to be upfront about something important. If you take medication, especially for blood pressure, diabetes, or if you have kidney disease, Talk to your doctor before adding these juices to your routine regularly. Certain nutrients, like nitrate or oxalate, can interact with some medications. These juices are meant to support a balanced diet, not replace medical advice. If you're still here with me at this point, that tells me you're someone who refuses to let age make the decisions for you. I've worked alongside people in their 70s and even their 80s, and one thing remains true. The body holds on to a surprising ability to recover as long as you give it the right materials at the right time. Maybe you felt discouraged forgetting a name, or squinting to read something on your phone, or even a little embarrassed having to ask someone to repeat what they just said. That feeling is completely normal, and you are genuinely not alone in it. But it shouldn't become a reason to give up, and it definitely shouldn't become the story you tell yourself about who you are now. So here's the question I want to leave you with tonight. Are you going to keep going the way things have been, ignoring these small signals? Or are you going to try, starting tomorrow, just one of these 4 juices to take back a little control over your own vitality? If this video was helpful, give it a like and share it with someone in your life who might need it. Tell me in the comments which juice you're going to try first. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where we'll talk about a morning habit that's still too often overlooked after 60. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm Sophia, and I want to remind you that after 60, vitality isn't gone. It's just waiting for you to wake it back up.